Hey folks, this is Matt aka Slash, and welcome back to the VintageBeef Fan Server. Just coming over here. Okay, this one's new. Hold on. Just coming over here to check on the old potion game. I renamed it to a game instead of a shop, because I thought maybe that would attract more business. 4 gold. It's pretty decent. That was a nice starting run there. Popularity has died down a bit since it first started up, but I know Snowshoe has tried it out. I know RJ was over here, and Doff is on with me right now. Oops. Or LOL. I'm just out loud. But so here we have, okay, I called it, I changed this, man, woo! I changed this from, to say from Matt, aka Splash, because Snowshoe had a hilarious, I don't know if you guys could hear that, but my dog was making a really weird noise just now. But anyway, Snowshoe, in his video, where he came and tried this, accidentally said Matt, aka Splash at one point, so I thought that'd be hilarious, because, of course, it's all Splash Potions. And I changed it to the Try Your Luck Potion game, because I figured that might be a little bit more honest. You're not really buying a potion, you're getting splashed with one, so it's, you know, it's a game. But we'll go ahead and drop those in there for now. And so the first thing that happened after I put this up is Drew put this up. Farmer Rudy's roadside milk stand. Didn't like the potion effect you got? Have some milk. So, you may have seen that in his video. If you didn't, go over to his channel, check it out. I think that's his most recent, or second most recent, VBFS episode. And I thanked him, because if people have a quick way to get rid of a negative potion effect, they're more likely to gamble on my place. But at the same time, all of a sudden over here, then we have Honest Joe's Potion Healing Shoppy. We go the extra mile to make sure you live a long, healthy life. Oh, hey! Jerks. Hold on a second. You guys are awfully quiet. Something tells me I've got my mob sounds turned down. Let's take a look. Sounds hostile creatures. Yep, sure enough. Dang it! You won't catch me off guard again. Look at these guys. Okay, one guy despawned while he was on his way over to kill me. Clearly, we need to light that area up a bit more to keep spawn safe. But anyway, subsidiary of our team LLC, We Care. So this is Splash Regen, Splash Health, and Milk Buckets. Also things that help the business, because they're basically just counteracting any bad effects over here, makes people more likely to want to try their luck. But this one here is new to me. This is Rancher Vol's Roadside Stew and Milk Stand. You can get milk anywhere, but here you can get milk and stew for free. It's delicious and nutritious. Don't be shy, Betsy does not bite. So wait, hold on a second. Does she have a name tag? Oh, Elsie. So this is Elsie the mushroom. And Betsy the cow. Okay, so don't be shy. Betsy does not bite. Okay. Oh, wow. Clean cups and bowls. Deposit used cups and bowls here to be sanitized. Oh, that's a fantastic idea. I'm not hungry, unfortunately, or thirsty, so I can't partake of this free service. But that's pretty fantastic. I'm assuming that's Volratho, since it says Rancher Vol. And this, I like this pen better, because this pen has flowers in it. And this one's just barren. Gotta step up your game, Drew. Gotta step up your game. Oh, and Elsie has more room to maneuver. Look at that. That's a 3x3 wide space, and this is only a 2x2 wide space. Poor Betsy. Blocks for You by Arjenkos. Dear recipient, I am representing the good clown from the Clown Company. As far as I know, there are no good clowns from the Clown Company, because there are no good clowns. But I have been given the blessing of distributing a massed sum of diamond blocks to various charities on this server. Soon to follow will be a check with a generous amount that will be sure to give a boon to your operation. In order to complete this transaction, we will need the following information from you. Name, address, blood type, grandmother's maiden name, next of kin, identification number, 15 blocks of Podzol, and the name of your charity. Once eBay approves the transaction, we will send the funds directly from you to the clown. Wait a second. Once eBay approves the transaction, we will send the funds directly from you to the Clown Company? Wait a second here. This does not seem legit. Sincerely, E. Hinkos. That seems suspicious. I'm gonna hang on to this for evidence. Oh, I still have my Enderman costume on. We had a bit of a late Halloween party here on the server. Just this past weekend, so that tells you how late it was. And we got dressed up in costumes and we did some trick-or-treating. I don't know if you can see the trick-or-treat dispensers are still set up at various houses along spawn here. So we went house door to door, pressing buttons and getting treats. And then we also did some mud wrestling, which is a thing Caleb built behind. Whoa, that's scary. Render in, world. I do not want to see the gas that cannot see me. But anyway, Caleb built this mud wrestling pit in response to some hilarious conversation that was happening in our server Skype chat some time ago. And it's a fun little PvP arena. You pick up a fish that has been named the Fish of Fury in an anvil, and no armor, no anything else, and you just run around slapping each other with fishes until one person remains victorious in the ring. So that was a lot of fun, and I did record a little bit of it. If I'm able to, I'll try to include a clip or two of that at this point. If not, I'll see you guys back at base where we have a little bit of a project coming up. So see you there.
Alright.
Ready?
Set. Go.
Go!
Oh, I found a fish underground.
This game remote is gone now.
Attack from below!
That was funny to watch, Drew.
Daughter's gotta be low.
Oh, I'm out.
Oh, Matt's out. Premature. That was awesome watching it.
Quick and furiously with a tractor.
No! No!
Oh man, the timing of that couldn't have been any better. Oh!
You had half a heart, didn't you?
Oh man.
That looks really good in this video. That was funny.
That was awesome.
I was trying to time it perfectly and come up behind you, but I couldn't get there.
Well, but then you were above me, and you realized that lower ground wins, right?
I tried to back up and on time, but I couldn't get my
Oh man, that was amazing.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ah! Go get him. Go down there and get him. I won't touch you. Oh, you jerk. Fish slap.
That's it, you two keep poking a song on each other.
Oh gosh. Oh. No, I did not.
Get out of here, Snow.
I'm trying.
Oh, frame rate. Frame rate.
Try to click with 2 fingers. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Oh, Matt, I saw the sword on your back, and I thought it was in your hand.
My secret strategy.
Why do I have a flower in my inventory? Oh!
Get over here. Uh-oh. Where is he?
I'm so dead.
Where is he? I don't know where he is.
He's above you.
He's above me. Ah! Oh man, I need some like tense action music going.
I don't know where Matt went. I want to eat my fish. I'm starving. Not actual starving, but like I'm not regenning.
Yeah,
I'm
me
gonna
neither.
die.
Oh, there you are! Oh no! Oh.
Death.
Yes!
Oh.
Oh man, I have half a heart.
Oh wow. I could have actually won that.
Oh, that was perfect.
That was awesome.
Okay, real quick, before we start on today's project, I did want to show you this. I have a little bit more work to do on it. Trying to make like a Minecraft cloud looking thing to obscure it, but I had to expand the platform out, so I need more snow around there. And I'm not totally happy with the way that looks. I may have to do some more tweaking to it. But got a little bit of a basic ender elevator, ender ascender here. You hold down shift and you just ender pearl up. There's string here that stops the ender pearl, and holding shift between the ladders keeps you from falling. And you can just do that all the way up. And here at the top is a Seth Bling style ice farm. Because unfortunately the one Dragon of Anger built in a taiga stopped working when just plain taigas were no longer ice generating. You just fall right down through the hole here into the safe drop. So I've set that up. I've marked it with a POI sign for our overviewer map so that other fellow members of the server can come on over and pick themselves up some ice whenever they need it. Now, on to our project for today. I've dug this area out already in preparation for this, but what we're going to be making today is an automatic AFK sheep shearing system. So it's a fairly ambitious project, I will admit, but should be a fun one. We're going to get started first off by heading over here and setting up the pistons for the trench. So there's two states that this is in. Either the sheep grazing or the sheep being sent through the system. When the sheep are grazing, we want to make sure they don't fall into the trench that's part of the system. So we're going to have to have some sort of system in place where they don't walk off into the trench. I like doing my redstone ethos style where it's all on the stone brick stuff. Even repeaters that cover the whole thing up that you can't tell. Because that way it's less likely I'm going to break it by accident. So we do that. Pistons all go out. Perfect. Just remembered I need like 15 dispensers. And they are the biggest pain in the butt to craft in bulk out of everything in this game. And I need them to be dispensers because I need them to actually place the water. Alright, that's the dispensers placed. And the pistons placed. So now we gotta wire up the dispensers. The way we're gonna do that is with repeaters. Like so. And I'm using repeaters along the whole thing, even though it's a little bit more expensive, just because I want to be consistent with the timing. So I don't want to accidentally have, like, this guy and this guy create a source here that then this messes the timing up on this one. I want them to all be sure they're firing simultaneously. And let's go ahead and get the stone brick down. And the redstone. Okay, now that that's in place, I'm going to go ahead and build up the walls here a little bit. Just to make sure that the water all flows where I want it to flow. And we'll give it a quick test run. Where is my redstone blocks? Where are my redstone blocks? There we go. And it stops right at the edge. Perfect. Alright, the next phase of this is to connect these two systems together so that when these toggle, these also toggle. Now, in order to have those toggle, because, okay, these operate differently, right? Pistons, they extend when they're powered and retract when they're unpowered. These activate when they're powered. So, you have to power them to push the water out. You have to power them to suck the water back in so it all dries back up. So in order for the whole system to become a toggle, what we're actually going to have to do is we're actually going to have to run the redstone, first of all the way back here. And second of all, we're going to need to put in a like T flip-flop sort of situation. I think that's the proper term. I'm not up on the actual terminology, but I think that's what you would call it. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to put a repeater there to extend the signal. And then right here, oops, I don't have it on me. Darn it, I took so much stuff out of my inventory to try and simplify things. Oh, that's a lot of iron there. We'll take all of that stuff back. Yes, perfect, and give those back. Inventory management, exciting. So, we're going to put sticky piston there. We're going to put a block on it, like so. And then we're going to run, how far is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I don't remember exactly how I did this originally, but I think we could just do this. And then put another sticky piston here. Oops. There. And then we'll do a block of redstone here. And then we'll do redstone starting there. Like so. Okay, now what does this do? This is a monostable circuit. This is the one design that I know, so this is the one design I'm going to use. When power comes to this block, it causes the piston to power, pushes the block up, which means only one tick signal gets through to this repeater. Since only a one tick signal goes to this sticky piston, it'll push the block out and leave it there, or bring the block back in on a subsequent pulse. So that turns this whole thing into a switch, which means that if I power this just by placing the block here like so, we have the water flowing, we have the pistons extended, and we have this guy right here has been pushed forward, but this is retracted. And now if I power it again, see how taking that away didn't do anything, but I power it again, pistons retract, and water stops flowing. Perfect. So now we have a system where... Oh, wait. I need to toggle this manually. There. Now we have a system where when this thing is shut, the sheep will be stuck in here. They won't go down into the little pit here. And the water won't be pushing them around. But when the water goes, it'll knock the sheep into the trench. Beautiful. Okay, everyone, I've skipped ahead a little bit in the build process. I went ahead and dug out the trench underneath the pistons, and I've also added this slowly elevating trench that goes all the way around up to there. And I've placed the first of many water sources to push the cows along. Or not the cows, the sheep. So we're actually 3 blocks deep. We put a source there, and at the end of the stream where it stops, we put a pressure plate. Above it into the back side of the water stream a bit, we put a sign, and then we can put a new water source, like so. And as you can see, if I can get over there, here we go. So the water continuously flows off in this direction, despite the exceeding the 7 block limit. Alright, now that I'm over here, the technique is a little bit different. We're going to place a ladder there, and a sign here, and a water block there. Oh, it doesn't see the sign as a solid block, huh? Alright, no problem. No problem. Or the ladder doesn't see as a solid block. Okay, I think it'll see the sign as a solid block. Yeah. And we'll put the ladder there. Okay, so that will cause the animals to automatically go up when they reach it. Let's see, if I put a water block here and put the sign there, will it work? Okay, that took it, because it saw the water underneath it and allowed it to be a source block. Okay, so now that flows up there, comes up around the corner, and we just keep doing this until we have created a little elevator, so to speak, a ramp back up to here. And the final sign that we have to place is right there to prevent the water here from flowing off back into the pen. So let me finish placing all of these and getting the ladders in place, and then we'll get on with the next phase. Alright, as I've been going, I've been sort of covering up the wiring where I can and filling in the holes, because eventually I want this to look relatively natural, other than the, giant pit where the sheep are going to be. But let's move on to the next part of our system here, and that's going to be, actually let me replace some of this here with the stone brick, because I don't want to mess this up. I need a 6x3 space. So we're going to start from here. We're going to go... That's 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And you can get right back in there for me. Thank you very much. And we'll just put... come on now. Let's not be like that. Let's just go cover the whole thing, even though the whole thing isn't going to have circuitry on it. And in fact, this row here, the only thing we're going to put here is a repeater as our input into the system. And then what we need is our block of redstone that's going to power and depower. So let's hop up there real quick while I'm talking, just to see that yes, in fact, everything has been toggled. But to do a hopper clock, in case you are unaware, we go hopper here, hopper there, pointing into that one, take this one off, and put it right back in. So now these hoppers are pointing into each other. Off the backs of these hoppers, we're going to throw some comparators. Then we're going to throw some blocks down at the comparators. And finally, some dust here and some dust here to control the pistons. Now we just have to load the hoppers up with the pieces. And I'm just going to fill them completely up with gravel. Pardon my computer UPS noise. So when all of the gravel has dropped out of this one, comparator turns off, depowers the block, depowers the piston, allowing this powered piston to finally push this block forward, removing power from this line, at the same time depowering this hopper, which will allow the items to start flowing back in that direction. Once this is empty, the whole thing happens in reverse, causing the block to reset to this position and turning the whole system back on. So now as the hopper clock moves that block back and forth, it will be toggling the state of the system here, which will allow for enough time to cycle the sheep through and enough time for them to sit in here and graze when the water is turned off. Alright, here we are a little bit further along, and I realized that I forgot something. So I blocked this off because what we actually need to do is we actually need to... And I have this in the wrong spot. This needs to go here. And that means that I'd like to redo this one. Gotta get it right. But what I forgot was our wool collection system. There we go. Which is going to be right here. And the way that it's going to work is we're going to throw 2 chests here. And we're going to throw 2 chests here. We're going to have one... Oops. That was already on my hotbar. We're going to have one hopper going into that chest so that whenever we... Oops. Move that over and move that over. Got to put the stair there so that the chest will open. There we go. So anything we put in here funnels down here. Like so. Then the next thing that we need is a couple of hoppers down here, one going into the chest, and then one next to it going into that one, so that anything that falls in there ends up eventually down here, or when this fills up there. That's going to be where the wool that we shear off, the sheep, will be right here when we do it, and the wool will fall down into this... Oh no. Oops. I can fix that real quick. The wool that we shear off will fall into the hoppers and get collected into the chests. Perfect. And that is... Oh, there's nothing in there. Huh. That's weird. I don't know how that happened. Anyway... The next part of this that we need is we need to build a little house for us to stand in while we're AFKing. So I've brought over some spruce wood and some stone brick, and I'm going to build a very simple little hut for the purposes of the wool collection. And once that's done, I'll get back to you with an update. There. Perfect. No. I realized as I was building it that there was a bunch of stuff that I had to do yet. First of all, let's get this out of the way. One thing that I needed to do was I needed to put an extra hopper. See, there's 1, 2. I put a third one here, moving these chests back one, because it's required by the design that things be pushed back a little bit. Because right here, 1 block up, we're actually going to have a little system for continuously spitting out and recovering shears. That's how we don't have to worry about the shears breaking, because we'll always be picking ones up. But before we get to that, we'll take a look at this. I've got a lever and a button. The button is going to go up here. So we've got the button is connected to there, like so. And it's going to come all the way around and be our manual toggle for the system whenever we have it turned off. So let me get some redstone. I'm going to need more redstone than that. And repeaters. Drop off the one spare torch that I've got. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Da 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 da. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, alright. That's not going to make it. But I remember from my creative world, previous build of this, they're actually going to have to put some repeaters in and probably redo this. But let's do the lever next. So let's actually get rid of this. Let's do the lever first. So I think that's what drives the ultimate design here. So we've got the levers coming off the back like this. And it needs to power this block right here. So it's going to come down and over like so. Whoops. Didn't finish digging it out before I placed a new one. Okay, so we're going to do a repeater into there, and we're going to do dust around like this. And this is why this is wrong. Let's take this up and do this properly. So in order to get that to work properly, we have to make sure that the two signals don't intermix. So we're going to come across like so. And we're going to put a repeater here and here so that it doesn't go down to that signal. Then we can go redstone, and if I run redstone across like this, it connects, but we can put blocks like so. You saw that turned off there. That's our indication that these two lines are now separate. So now the button comes across to here, and the lever goes down to there. So let me go flick... Oh, the system is flicked off. Okay. So that's good. So that means that... Oh no, the system... Oh wait, we can't have one here. That's the problem. Sorry! There we go. Now it works. The lever comes down here and the lever is on. So that will prevent this from emptying any further. I was wondering why that had moved back. It wasn't supposed to. But now that the lever's on, this will lock this. Once this pushes out, it will empty and it will not reload, which will cause this line to depower. And then at that point, we can toggle it manually by pushing the button. Now if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, that's sufficient to get us to the line. And I put a repeater here to make sure that the signal's strong enough to reach all 15 of these dispensers whenever it hits it. So I'm going to fill in these areas here that don't need to be here with dirt. And then we will finish up with the... Well, then we'll move on to the next phase, which will be putting in the shears dispenser over there. So be with you in just a bit. Okay, now it's time to do the shears distribution system. In order to do that, we need to detect whenever the system is in use, whenever wool has successfully been shorn. So we're going to run a comparator off of this hopper here. This is why I had to move things out further. If the comparator gets power, then that indicates that the wool passed through the hopper, and therefore wool has been shorn. So we need to cycle some droppers at that point, which we're going to place here. Whoop, dang it. Already on my hotbar. I'm going to place there and there. Like so. And then we're going to put a hopper here to automatically reload the system. And then let me put just some carpet on that for aesthetics. And so that you don't, like, sink into it. But we're sitting here, we're shearing sheep. Wool drops into the hoppers. This hopper back here fires off a redstone signal because it has received wool. And we're just going to route that redstone signal all the way back around to the droppers right here. So we're just going to go like so. We're going to run a repeater directly off. Let's get rid of these for the time being so I have room to maneuver. We're going to run a repeater directly off of here, right off of the comparator, so that it doesn't matter how many wool are in there, it's going to send the signal anyway. And then redstone oh my gosh! Redstone comes around like this, and then another repeater back into the droppers. And then we go boom and boom to put those back on there like that. So now, whenever wool comes off, this will shoot shears at us. And if we don't pick them up because we haven't broken our shears and our inventory is otherwise empty, then they'll just fall, right back into the hopper. Like the carpet did, apparently. Oh, right, it's in this one. Alright, let me finish up this little hut now, and then we'll work on getting the sheep into the pen and give it a test run. Okay, the building is done. I think I have a little bit of lighting yet to do around the outside. Yep. But, for the most part, it's done. I put glass here so that you can see the sheep going up the channel. I have some lighting in here as well, kind of tucked away in the corners. There's the chest where the wool will collect. Here's the dispenser for the new shears. Every time that fires, controls turn the system on and off or trigger it manually. So we're in pretty good shape as far as that goes. The next thing we have to do is get these sheep from their original pen over here down into the new pit over there. And, oh, I missed it. Darn it. Some of them, 2 of them, have wandered down here on their own already. But, unfortunately, I don't have a really good way of getting them down into the pit. I tried pushing them with water, and that was not too successful. So I may have to get a bunch of leads and walk a bunch of them down in and just keep repeating that until I have some measure of success. But I thought I would show you real quick before I do that, because I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm going to do that off camera. But my plans are to... Do I have all the glass? No, I don't have all the glass. My plans are to use this stuff, the green stained glass, to cover up most of the pit. And I think I need basically 2.5 stacks to cover that whole area. Boom. Like so. Because I think it blends in very nicely with the grass color in the plains. So this way you can actually walk over the pen and see the sheep down there grazing or being pushed by the water, depending on what's going on. But still feel like it's kind of part of the terrain. So I'm going to get some of this down and then work on getting the sheep into their pens. Okay, this should be the last bunch of them. Which one did I get there? I want you too, yellow. I want you all. Yes, down in the pit. Ha 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 ha. Oh, nope. There you go. Alright, let's try and get these leads back. Let me tell you, transporting these guys 8 at a time was somewhat less than fun. But it ended up working out fairly quickly. And I need my glass back to plug the hole. There it is. Alright. Oh, for heaven's sakes, get off the pistons. Get! Need to place blocks. Stupid sheep. There we go. Alright. Look at them all in there. Adorable. Now we can finally test out the system. Oh, I have like 3 stairs I need to place. Do I have 3 stairs? I have 2 stairs. I'll place those. That can do without. Alright. Let's give this system a proper run. Drop off everything I don't need. We'll pick up all the shears. And that's it, I believe. So hop in here. And we'll just drop all these in the system. Except for one of them. And let's fill up our inventory so that we can't pick up anything. Perfect. Now, when we flick this lever, the sheep are now getting pushed along into the trench. They are heading along this path here. Okay, I guess we'll allow picking up one thing. Getting pushed along. And we head in here. And there they are, going right through. So all we have to do is sit here and hold right click. And you hear the shears being dispensed periodically. And we're not picking them up, so they drop right back into the system. Just like that. And so now we can AFK here and collect wool to our heart's content. Alright, well that's going to do it for this episode, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to drop the shears in there. I could drop those in there as well. Flick the system off so that when the pistons reset, I can then go in. It's best to turn it off when it's not flowing, because you have to manually toggle this state then. But once the piston has reset, I'll come press a button and cause the water to stop flowing so that the system is back to normal. Right, yes, like I said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this interesting. Hopefully the episode cuts down to a proper length, despite having spent about 3 hours working on it. I'm not sure how well that's going to edit, so I apologize if this turned out to be a bit of a longer episode. But this is a project that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and I'm really happy that it's done. Alright, see you all next time. Have a good one.